All right, so we are back in Warsaw, and it was a wonderful break, and it was a much needed break, rather I would say. And I sincerely apologize to you guys for not putting up a video since a long time. But here's one with all the detailed information about our travel from Warsaw to India, as in Bombay, and from Bombay back home. So I've shot a few videos during our travel to India, and I'm sure you guys want to see that as well. So first let's get there and you guys enjoy the excitement, and I'm sure if you guys are here on this video, you are also planning your travel maybe to India or any country that you want to visit. But yes, the excitement level, I cannot tell you guys. I have managed to actually put that in the camera, or rather capture in the camera. So just have a look at it and we'll get back here. Hello you beautiful people, and you guys can see that we are at the airport, and I couldn't be happier than this day. I was just waiting for the longest for this trip, and this trip is to India, and I cannot express how super excited I am, and I so nervous to meet all of my family members and my parents and friends back in India there. So yes, we are coming very soon, and we are now at the Warsaw Airport, Warsaw Chopin Airport, and our flight is from Warsaw to Frankfurt and Frankfurt to Bombay. So there's a transit at the Germany airport, and that's the Frankfurt Airport. So yes, there are a lot of restrictions, or rather I can say there are a lot of forms and a lot of documentations that you need to do before you've taken any flights, and moreover there are a very less options for flights. So yes, and the reason why I am running out of breath is because I had just checked in my luggage and it was super heavy. And yes, super excited. I cannot emphasize more on this, and I hope our journey goes very smooth and safe. And yes, we have our friends from Warsaw to see us off. They were pretty kind enough and they've come here. So here they are, and our journey begins from here now. For now, we just came through the security check-in, and mind me, in Warsaw the security check-in is like way too easy. There is nobody. There were hardly very few people at the security check-in, so there was no queue, and which means the process was quite smooth, and there was no hassle at all. So yeah, the journey is going great so far. It has just begun. Alright guys, so we have boarded the flight, and actually I have boarded the flight first, and Ketan is left behind. He's coming by bus to the aircraft, and we missed the line by a number, so that's fine, but he'll be coming soon now. And yes, so that's our journey. Let's get started. So guys, we have just landed to Frankfurt Airport now, and it was just last year that we had been to this place, and memories are refreshed. There's the duty free. Shall we get there, or are we going for breakfast first?
Breakfast.
Okay, let's go. That was pretty wonderful, right? There was a bit of nervousness, there was more of excitement, and it was a wonderful trip, guys. I have never had such kind of a trip, mind me. But now let's jump into the details and which test and what are the things that we had to actually go through for this travel. So here is the list of information that I will be covering in this video. So guys, make sure you continue watching this video till the end. Maybe this video is going to go a little long, but I'm sure this will be very helpful for you, and I'm going to give all the things in detail. So I'm going to provide the lab name from where I did the RT PCR test. I'm also going to provide which type of forms and what are the details in the forms that you need to fill in before your travel, which flyer to select while you travel or while you plan to travel, and the quarantine system or the quarantine process in Warsaw and in India. As in, I'm going to specifically talk about Bombay and Warsaw trip. So apart from that, I'm also going to let you know moreover about the security checks in all the airports that we went through, then the immigration experience that we actually had. So first, to begin with, you guys need to make sure that you take an RT PCR test 72 hours prior to your flight, which is mandatory. There are two options for you guys if you're traveling to Bombay. You can either take your test from Poland itself, or you can land in Bombay and then you can take your test. But in our experience, I am not very sure what kind of test results would you actually get there, and if you by chance get a positive, then you will have to go a 7 days mandatory quarantine in institution in their institution, and a 7 days home quarantine. So you need to take your decisions wisely. And the lab that we went for this test in Warsaw was Proteon. I will provide the link of this lab in the description. If you want to go through this, check the description box for it. They provided us a home service, rather I can say they actually bought the kit to our place, and they took our samples, and we got our results on email. So it was quite convenient as well. And moreover, while my travel, I had done a complete research of which is the cheapest one. So this one was the cheapest one, which was around 350 zloty, and they had multiple packages. So packages for 2, then packages for 3, packages for 4, package for family, which was even in a lesser price. So since Ketan and I were just 2 of us, so we had to take a package of 2, and which was quite cheaper than the rest of the lab. Also make sure that your report is in English language and not in Polish language, else it will not be accepted there. Second thing is, you need to make sure that you carry at least 2 copies of this report, so that wherever if they stop you and if they ask you for a hard copy, you are able to present. And the most important thing is, on the Mumbai Airport, where before you exit, they will actually collect 1 hard copy. So moving forward with the type of forms that we had to fill in before we onboarded the flight, we had to fill in the self-reporting form and the exemption form, which helps you to not go under quarantine if you have taken up a test and your test is negative. I hope that is clear to you guys. If not, then put down your questions in the comment section. I will happily answer them. Also guys, we had to fill in a registration form which was provided by the Embassy of Germany, and you can find that link on the Lufthansa Airlines portal. And yes, and you need to upload your RT-PCR test report onto that form. So make sure everything is done well. And during our travel back to Poland, in the flight from Frankfurt to Warsaw, we had received 2 forms. There were 2 different forms, but each form per family was something that they distributed, and you need to fill in that form. And yes, that's all. There was no quarantine in Poland or as such. And one important thing guys, you need to make sure that you carry a pen or 2 pens rather, so that you don't keep asking, or maybe you don't borrow it from somebody else, at least during this situation. Alright, so now let's see what options do we have for flights. But before we get there, make sure you guys do not book your flight tickets from any third party website. You only have 2 options, that's the Lufthansa website and the KLM website. On Lufthansa website, you will have Lufthansa flight options and Swiss Air flight options. and on KLM you will have KLM option and the Air France option. So these are the only flyers flying as of now from if you have to travel from Warsaw to Bombay. And in our case, what we did was we had booked the flights with the refundable ones and the ones which allow you to reschedule, wherein in case if the flights are cancelled or if they want to reschedule, you have the eligibility to do so. And now talking about the quarantine situation, when we reached Bombay, since we had done the RT PCR test, they had just provided a stamp on our boarding pass saying that you need to have a 7 days home quarantine. That's it. We did not have an institutional or the mandatory quarantine. And when we landed back in Poland, we had submitted those two forms that I just told you, and we are under home quarantine for 7 days, and that's it. There was no mandatory quarantine here as well. So yes, this is the situation both in Bombay and in Warsaw, and we had booked our tickets from Warsaw to Frankfurt, Frankfurt to Bombay, and the same was while we came back to Poland. And now jumping to the most important one, and it's about the immigration and the security check. And let me tell you guys, it was the smoothest process. I have never been through immigration so easily, and the security lines were literally nothing that we could compare to earlier days. So there were hardly very few people, rather I can say there were only people who were going to travel from our same flight. So you can imagine the line. I mean, there was no queue at all, and it was a very simple process. We just had to go through the immigration, take the stamps, and that's all. And yes, this was about the travel and the flight information. Now if you guys have any questions regarding travel, make sure to comment down below and I will answer to them. Also talking about food availability and the shopping stores, the duty free shops, there are duty free shops open but not all of them. So yes, if you find any duty free shop on your way, make sure to shop it from there itself, because I'm sure near your boarding gate the duty free shops are going to be closed, because that's what we also have experienced. I had to go back because I had enough time so I could go back, but in case if your layover is not quite long enough, so it will be trouble for you to go back and shop in the duty free ones. And yes, there are a few restaurants and where you can find food and beverages and stuff, and everything is quite easily available, so there was no problem over that as well. And overall the journey was quite good and it was a great experience. We totally enjoyed our stay in India, and it was great meeting our parents after almost 2 years now. And it's not 2 years literally, it's just three months left for 2 years, but it was a very good one. It felt really good, and now that we are back in Warsaw, it's a fresh start for us. And yes, it's a fresh start for everybody, rather it's a new year. And yes, so I wish you guys a happy new year. I know it's a little bit late, but so I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and if you have found it informative, and if you did, don't forget to give it a big fat thumbs up and do subscribe to my channel and hit the small bell icon there so that you will get notified each time I upload a new video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, you guys take care, bye bye, stay safe, and if you're traveling, I wish you a happy journey and travel safe. Oh yeah, I somehow missed to show you guys the weather in Warsaw is amazing, and it's snowing all the night, and the view from my window is really beautiful. So just have a look at it.